Let's start the Lindy Lou Books Group show. Get the music going. Here we go. As I wait for people to join us, we're starting a little bit early so people can come on before the show starts. I think I'll turn the music up. O-I-N-D-I-E-L-O-U spell Lindy Lou. La 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 la. Here's Jasper. You are cool. He loves to dance. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Kaylin. Hello, Tom. Sliding game. Remember Jasper in book 1? She does the sliding game. Actually, all the puppies do the sliding game. Hello, Tom. Thanks for joining. Here's Topaz. Topaz loves to dance. Oh, Heidi's there. So we have Kelly from California. We have Tom from Wisconsin. We have Heidi from the state of Washington. And Caleb. Oh, Caleb misses me. I miss you too, Caleb. Thank you for sending me little Facebook messages. I really love saying hi. Lindy Lou's turn. There is Romica from California. Hi, Romica. She says hi to Jeannie and Lindy Lou. We are going to start in 1 minute. Oh, Chris and Ryan are there. Oh, I'm so excited. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ryan. I have a really good show for you guys today. Heidi is sending hugs and kisses to Romica. Heidi, are Boo and Mister with you today? I hope so. Lindy Lou likes doing the sliding game too. Woo! Woo! Sliding game. Woo! Romica says hi to Heidi. Arf, arf. And up there is Ruby and Diamond. We are getting ready for our show. Boys and girls. L-I-N-D-I-E-L-O-U spells Lindy Lou. La 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 la. Okay, Lindy Lou, you are cool, and your friends think you're a jewel. La 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 la. I'm gonna pause the song, and we are gonna start our weekly Lindy Lou and You Kids Corner group in our Lindy Lou Books group private. We have a new group and we are adding members every single week. We're very excited with the enthusiasm of everybody who's joining. And I want to thank you for coming to our Kids Corner program today. And I am again in San Diego, California, and I have a very special program for you today. I'm still on the 88-foot boat here in San Diego called Odysseus. Here is the sailboat that I am on today. Because I'm in San Diego, I'd like to dedicate this program to some very special friends of mine who live nearby, and also a really cool animal, which I will talk about later. But before I start the show, I would like to show you my kids' corner. I have my pillows, I have my Lindy Lou stuffies, and my books, and I'm in a nice, wonderful corner. I even have a big sailboat in the background. So, this is my kids' corner, and I would like to show somebody else a kids' corner. This is a picture that I received this week, and I'd like to tell you there's something very, very interesting about this picture. Can you see this puppy named Mango? And this is his new Lindy Lou stuffy. Well, Mango belongs to Jim and Andrea, and they brought home a Lindy Lou stuffy. And when the mailman opened the box, when Jim opened the box from the mailman, and Mango saw Lindy Lou, he fell in love with her. He took Lindy Lou, he brought her to his corner, one of his favorite places, as you could see, his kids' corner, or in this case, his puppy corner. And he hasn't left Lindy Lou's side ever since Lindy Lou joined Jim and Andrea's home. So Mango is in love, and so is Lindy Lou. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful story. And Sandra is here today. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for joining the show. I'm glad you're here, and I'm so happy that Mango has a Lindy Lou stuffy and is in love. Such a sweet story. Hey, everyone. If you have pictures of your kids' corner or your stuffies you'd like to share with me, go ahead and send them over. I'd love to share them on our group. And if any of you have any questions during the show, go ahead and post them anytime. I'm happy to answer your questions anytime during this program. And it looks like Nancy is on. She popped up for a moment. This is Nancy, signed in as you. Oh my gosh, that's okay, Nancy. That's adorable. Thanks for joining. And yes, Mango is very sweet. That's what Nancy said. Very, very sweet. Do you have a kids' corner in your house? If not, try to create one and enjoy it. It's your place to relax, to read, to enjoy, and ask your friends to join us in our kids' corner so they can join in the fun as well. Everyone is welcome. Now it's time to tell you about some very special people. I'm going to show you a picture, and you might recognize them. Here is Rod Romica. Here's Rod Romica and me, and Chris is sitting on my lap, and Ryan is there with they are twin boys, age 5, and they came to visit me. And as you can see, on Romica's lap is her diamond stuffy, just like the one up there. So they came to visit me, and I was so happy. Carlos and I were so happy to host them in San Diego on Mission Bay last weekend. Rod and Romica, Chris and Ryan have been quarantined for many months, only going out of the house for essentials like food and supplies. So Carlos and I have been doing the same. Because of this, because we have all been so very careful for so many months, we felt comfortable visiting with each other. These are times to be very careful and be very safe and healthy. And Hector has just joined us. Hi, Hector. Thank you for joining from Mexico, from Cabo San Lucas. He's saying hello to me and Carlos and wishing us well in Spanish. So you can see some Spanish on our comments today. Thank you for joining Hector. Hector is a very talented guitar player. So maybe he can even post his YouTube channel so we can listen to some of his guitar playing. First, Ron and Romika and Chris and Ryan came to our sailboat Odysseus for a tour, and I'm going to show you a picture. Here are Ryan in the foreground and Chris behind him at the wheel of Odysseus. Look at the size of that wheel. They are in an area of the boat called the helm, which is the area where we steer this giant sailboat through the water. And they were so excited. And as you can see, they actually have sailboat pictures on their hats, which I thought was very appropriate for the day. Then I gave them a tour of the inside of the boat, just like Caleb when he came for his visit. And here is Romika, and she has her arm around Ryan, and Chris is sitting next to Ryan, and they are holding Jasper and Ruby and Topaz in our kids' corner down in one of the cabins in the lower section of the boat. We had a really fun time going through the boat and seeing all the different cabins, the galley, which is where we cook, and the salon where I'm sitting right now. Let's see if anybody else has joined us. I think I've said hi so far to everyone. So if you have questions, go ahead and ask. After the tour of the boat, we went for a ride on a 22-foot Catalina Capri sailboat. I'm going to show you a picture because this is an amazing, oh, it's sideways. This is an amazing boat as well. This is a, there we are, I'm trying to get it very clear. There we are. This is a 22-foot Catalina Capri sailboat, and as you can see, the tall section of the boat is called the mast. The large sail is called the mainsail. This sail is called a jib, and this is the forward part of the boat called the bow, and this is the back of the boat called the stern. And there's a really interesting part of a sailboat, which we had a lot of fun with, and I think Romika will attest to that. There is a long pole down here that holds the mainsail on, and it swings from left to right so that the boat can catch air in different directions. So when it's in this direction, the boat goes this way, and when it's in this direction, the boat goes the opposite way. And that is called a boom. And Romika really got to feel what a boom feels like, because when we swung it around, we forgot to warn her, and it hit her in the forehead. Not very hard, we didn't hurt anything, but we decided that's why it's called a boom, because it can boom you in the head. And Romika says the boys are still talking about the boat. And I have invited Caleb back to go for a boat ride. So remember, Kelly, Mom Kelly, to tell Caleb to come back and visit us. Here is another really cute picture of us sailing on Mission Bay. This is a picture of Ryan and Romika. You can see a large area of water behind us, and they brought their Diamond Stuffy along to enjoy us on the boat ride. So Diamond was along with us too. And Romika replied, ouch, to being hit by a boom. And here's another really cute picture. Ryan, this is Chris, and Chris was having a lot of fun with Lindy Lou on the boat that day. And Lindy Lou decided she was going to climb up one of the lines of the mainsail. So here are Chris and Ryan having fun with Lindy Lou on the 22-foot sailboat we took around Mission Bay. When we were sailing on Mission Bay, we saw a lot of one type of animal, and that animal are birds. We saw many birds that live around the Pacific Ocean. They might look different than the birds in Wisconsin or the East Coast, but actually on the East Coast, on the Atlantic Ocean, these birds are also very common. They are called seagulls. Now, I'm going to tell you something very interesting. This is a male and female seagull. The male is larger and actually is known to have a little bit more aggressive face than the female, which is smaller and is supposed to be said to have a more friendly face and a friendly personality. So just like twins, like Chris and Ryan and other twins, these look very similar, but in some ways they're very different, just like twins. And I would like to show you a younger seagull because they look even more different. Here is a young seagull. So the mom and dad are white, male and female are white and gray, and the babies are the color of the sand because they hide in the sand and the rocks when they're little, and their mom and dad are feeding them to be safe. They're camouflaged from in their surroundings, which keep them much safer. So as you can see, this little young seagull is also very different. There's another bird that we saw when we were sailing around Mission Bay, and this one is called a pelican. Pelicans are really cute. They have long necks, long beaks, and really, really short feet. And so there is our pelican. Oops, I moved the screen a little bit here. Let me see if I can fix it. There we are. So this is a pelican, and there's another bird we saw, and this one is called a cormorant. Now this cormorant is a really interesting bird. It was sitting on the bait dock near the pelican, and when they walk, they lift their wings up into the air for balance, and they run across the deck with their feet waddling across the deck. And they were showing off running that day. These are called cormorant. They're different than the pelican. They have small beaks and small bodies, very thin bodies. And as you can see from the pelican in this picture, birds are very, very different. We also saw a gorgeous bird. It's called the great blue heron. Can you imagine being called great? This is a great blue heron. Look at this beautiful bird. There is actually a great blue heron that comes to Odysseus and sits on our boat. And because of the name Odysseus, we named him Prometheus. Actually, Nancy and I named him Prometheus. And Nancy is saying, these pictures are awesome, and I want to thank you. And Kelly says, oh, good old seagulls. Yes, seagulls are everywhere. They're pretty friendly, too. If you hold up a peanut and they're friendly enough, they'll actually fly past if you hold it high enough and take it out of your hand. Kelly, have you and Caleb ever experienced that? I have. So here is the great gray heron. And as you can see, it's different from a pelican, different from a seagull, different from a cormorant. It has long legs and a very long neck and a beautiful orange beak. Because birds are different, in order to survive in the wild, they have to figure out the best ways to hunt for their food. And many birds like to eat fish. Some birds fly over the water like a pelican, and then when they see a fish, they dive down into the water. And if you want to Google or YouTube or search for pelicans or Bing search for pelicans, you can see videos of them. And in San Diego Harbor, the bay, we can actually see these pelicans dive into the water, and sometimes their whole bodies go underneath the water to catch a fish. It's really quite exciting to watch them fly through the air, fly up into the air and dive down into the water. They're really quite fun. Nancy says that they have a great blue heron at their cottage in Wisconsin. Oh, that's wonderful to know. They are tall. They are just as tall as Chris and Ryan. Yes, they are very tall. Thank you, Nancy, for sharing that. Some birds can swim. Do you remember that picture I showed you of the cormorant? Well, the cormorant, here it is. The cormorant is a swimmer. And I'm going to show you a picture of this bird swimming. Check this out. I actually saw a cormorant yesterday. It was floating on top of the water, and when it saw me, it dove down into the water, and they swim by tucking their wings in and pushing the water through their wings. They actually look like they're flying underneath the water. They are really quite beautiful to see. They are thinner than many birds, which allows them to dive under the water and swim quite well, and they're very good fishermen. So some fish fly in the air to catch their food. I'm sorry, some birds fly in the air to catch their food. Some birds swim, and some birds pick up fish with their feet. A foot of a bird is called a talon. And here is a gorgeous bald eagle. They are in the waters of the Pacific Ocean, but you're more likely to see them in cooler climates, like up in Seattle, where Heidi and Diane are. And we want to say hi to Diane. She wasn't able to make it today, but she wanted us to say hello to everybody from Diane. And as you can see, this eagle is stretching out its talons. Its tail is about to touch the water, and it's about to catch a fish in its feet. There's another beautiful bird of the Pacific Ocean, and it lives primarily in Mexico and South America, and I've seen these birds, and they're magnificent. They are called the frigate bird, and the males have these beautiful red pouches, which they show off to show how beautiful they are to a female when they're trying to date. They have big, huge, long wings, much longer than the size of their bodies. And when they fly through the air, they're absolutely very beautiful to see. And I want you to look very closely at the beak of this bird, because that's what they fish with. The the frigate can't swim. Its wings are not waterproof. So if they land in the water, unless they can get to shore, they are doomed. But they have to eat. So their way of catching fish is to fly very close to the water and dip their beak down into the water and grab a fish with the hook at the end of their beak. And they're really quite good fishermen birds. Fisher birds. And as you know, We also have the seagull, who love to eat. They love to eat anything. They'll eat peanuts, they'll eat fish, they'll eat anything that they can find. And here is a seagull. Oh, Nancy is telling me they also have loons at their lake, and they can fly and swim, but they cannot walk because their feet are too far back on their bodies. Oh, that is so cute. And Kelly's saying great blue herons are beautiful, and they are. Kelly, if you come back and you're at our boat near the evening when the sun's going down, there's a blue heron that comes on our boat. And I'd love to introduce you and Caleb to our great blue heron someday. We all know that birds can fly, and we all know that birds can float on top of the water because most birds have waterproof feathers, like seagulls and pelicans, cormorants, ducks, and swans. It's actually hard to find a bird that doesn't like water or can't float or swim. And so even birds who live far away from the water, from the ocean, like water, just like this robin. As you know, birds love bird baths, and here's a robin enjoying the water. So birds love to fly, and they love water as well. And this is a bird from the Wisconsin and the Midwest area. We don't see many robins here near the Pacific Ocean, but they are beautiful, colorful birds, and they love the water just as well. And eagles can't swim. Their feathers are not waterproof, so if an eagle catches a fish and it's too heavy and it pulls it into the water, it spreads out its wings and pulls itself through the water with its wings until it reaches the shore, and then it pulls the fish out. So an eagle is one of the rare birds that cannot swim. And of course, here's another bird that cannot swim. It doesn't live near the Pacific Ocean. It actually lives mostly in Australia. This is an ostrich. This bird can't swim, and you know what else? It can't fly either, but it can run like the wind. So there are many, many different types of birds, and they are all very different. And Heidi says we have lots of cormorants, eagles, and seagulls in from our condo in the Seattle area of Alki Beach. We have crows, and they bomb the eagles a lot. Oh, that must be a lot of fun to see, Heidi. I've never seen a crow bomb an eagle. They must be awfully assured of themselves because eagles are much bigger than they are. And Heidi says, yes, that's what she sees. I bet she really enjoys watching the birds at Alki Beach. This reminds me of a life lesson. Some birds can swim and some can't. Some birds hunt with their talons, and some can't hunt with their feet. Some birds can fly and some can't. Some birds can't fly or swim. So I am going to read you a part of the book of the Lindy Lou Adventure series. It's about Lindy Lou when she's headed to the airport and she's in her travel cart. And sometimes you will be in a situation where you're put into a place that you can't leave. Lindy Lou wanted to go outside. She scratched on her carrier. She ran in circles. She tried to find a way out. "It's okay, little one," said Susie. Her kind voice calmed Lindy Lou. Lindy Lou sat down on her blanket near Coco and took a deep breath because Lou knew that she couldn't get out. So sometimes you can do things and sometimes you can't do things. So my life lesson for today is, if you can't do something, try to figure out why. If you think you can do it, keep trying. But if for some physical reason you can't do something, find something you can do and enjoy doing it as well as you can. Just like Lindy Lou couldn't get out of her travel cart, so she decided to sit down near Coco and relax. Nancy loved Heidi's fun story about the birds. So, boys and girls, teachers, librarians, moms and dads and friends, this is time for our show to come to an end. And I want to thank you for joining our Lindy Lou and You Kids Corner program. Thank you for saying hi to all our stuffies and to me. And remember to create a Kids Corner in your house, a place for you to read, to enjoy, to relax. And I will see you next week with another Lindy Lou and You Kids Corner group show. So until then, remember, it's all about Lindy Lou and you. Bye-bye, and thank you for joining my show.